Hello guys, welcome back. Please subscribe to the channel if you want more of this recap.
Park Jin-sung was hiding his true Edaya. Behind the F-rank dagger Edaya, there was an S-rank Edaya called Absolute Murder. This Edaya was so powerful that Park Jin-sung had decided to keep it hidden and endure bullying. He could see the Edaya and weak spots of his opponents and could not deactivate his abilities till he finished their Edaya or killed them. It also filled his mind with intense bloodlust and made him much stronger. Even On Sung-ho is nervous when he sees his abilities. His squad interferes and saves him from being attacked, but even then, Park Jin-sung had managed to cut off their bracelets. He survives for the entire 5 minutes duration of the mock battle, and as a result, his class wins. Following this win, his classmates stop hitting him but turn him into an errand boy instead. The deadline for joining a club comes up and Park Jin-sung can find only one club that would accept someone like him with an F-rank Edaya. But he curses his luck when he finds that On Sung-ho was the only member of the HT club. Park Jin-sung tries to run away, but he is just a pushover and competes when On Sung-ho pressurizes him just a little bit. On Sung-ho is already impressed by the hidden abilities of Park Jin-sung and is determined to get him into the club. He is the only applicant that passes the test by matching On Sung-ho's training regime and is selected into the club. He is not allowed to quit as Sung-ho says that he was not going to work out alone from now. But one good thing that he can take back is the respect of his juniors, who now see him in a slightly better light. Park Jin-sung realizes that he made a mistake when he went along the flow and completed the test, going as far as matching On Sung-ho's intense pace. He is cleaning the classroom and thinking of ways to quit the club. Nothing had worked before and his senior would not hesitate to drag him back to the gymnasium. He holds his head and crouches as he cannot think of anything that will make him feel better. But that was not the worst part of it all. The students in his class and other classes also bothered and bullied him for this too. Most of them asked the same question: how did he get into the club? They were fueled by jealousy and not by curiosity. He even thinks that it was worth breaking his arm to escape from the club, but On Sung-ho would get him healed immediately. He is busy in his thoughts and does not realize that someone was calling him. But when the girl calling him speaks loudly, he snaps out of his thoughts and gets scared. She asks him if he studied in the class and introduces herself as a corporal. But Park Jin-sung had never seen her before and thought that she is really pretty. She asks him his title and name and he replies instinctively in the military manner. She introduces herself again as Corporal Kim Se-yeon. She was going to join his class and become a member of Platoon 10, Squadron 2 tomorrow. Park Jin-sung welcomes her to their school and starts leaving for the club. But she pulls him back and slams him against a wall. She comes close to him and when he requests her to let him go, she tells him that she needed a guide. He is scared as their position looks risque and On Sung-ho would come to his class if he did not reach the club soon. He tries to tell her that she should ask someone else, but she refuses. She gets even more passionate about enlisting him as a guide and Park Jin-sung is scared. He agrees to guide her, but it turns out that she wanted to meet On Sung-ho. He tells her that he was going to him right now, but Sung-ho is already outside the class. Park Jin-sung is scared when he sees him and tells him that he was not planning to skip club. But Kim Se-yeon jumps into the conversation and starts talking to Sung-ho. She is an untamed horse and does not follow any social guidelines. When On Sung-ho says that she should greet him properly as he was his senior, she says that since they were both equally strong, he was not her senior in this military system. She does not hold back her words and Sung-ho replies that he would show her who was stronger if she wanted to compete. She holds his tie and stares intensely into his eyes and On Sung-ho realizes that she did not care about anyone's personal space. Park Jin-sung is confused by their passive-aggressive flirting and competition. But then Se-yeon directly asks On Sung-ho if he was dating anyone right now, to which he replies that he was not. Park Jin-sung had thought that much as well as Sung-ho never seemed to spend time on things other than training. Se-yeon mocks him and says that she also did not like people like him. Sung-ho replies that he did not mind as he also did not get a good first impression of her. Se-yeon tells him that he should make up a fiancé or a girlfriend if he did not want to be bothered by questions like this. Neither Sung-ho nor Park Jin-sung understand what she is saying. But then she says that her family was a little orthodox and obnoxious, and she was warning him for his own good. She probably meant that her family would try to approach him to marry her and she did not want that to happen. Park Jin-sung thinks that he was stuck between two wild beasts. He wanted to get out of there, but then Se-yeon turns to him and asks him if he would want to date her instead. He gets flustered and Se-yeon smiles, saying that he was cute. She starts pressing him into a corner and does not believe that his Edaya and combat rank were both F. Sung-ho interrupts her and asks her to leave as they had to train. Se-yeon does not believe them until she sees them working hard in the gym. Park Jin-sung begs her to save him from the training, but she just ignores him. She asks On Sung-ho what was so special about a nobody like Park Jin-sung that made him fit to be his training partner. She has very good intuitions and asks him about the secrets he was hiding. But On Sung-ho says that he does not know anything and if she wanted to know anything, she should ask Park Jin-sung himself. She does not hesitate and cheerfully approaches him. But Park Jin-sung has been hiding his abilities for so long that he does not mind saying that he was completely useless. Both Seon and Sungho are disappointed in his answer and he is dragged back to training. The next day, Seon is being introduced to the class and she goes straight to where Park Jin-sung is sitting. She tells the teacher to put her in squad 3 and does not even wait to introduce herself properly. The boys in the class think that she was pretty but crazy. She asks the person sitting next to Park Jin-sung to move somewhere else, and when he tries to tell her that it was his seat, she intimidates him into leaving. Byun Jiyoung is irritated by her behavior and asks her to introduce herself to the class. He tries to establish superiority by saying that he was the captain of the squad 3, but she tells him that she was a corporal, the highest rank for a second year. The teacher also gives up, thinking that she is just a weirdo. But Park Jin-sung is depressed that she will attract more unwanted attention to him. She seemed to have no consideration for anyone's personal space and did not hold back while speaking. She notices him sigh and asks if he had any problem with her sitting next to him. She puts her hand on his shoulder and asks him if he did not want to be in her good books, but he laughs nervously and says that she was misunderstanding the situation. The teacher shouts at her and asks her to introduce herself. She says that she did not want to come in front of the class again and would introduce herself from her seat. The other students are annoyed by her, but she does not pay attention to them. She tells the class that she is Kim Seon and her Edaya is the White Jade Goblin. The mood of the class changes drastically upon hearing the name of her Edaya, and everyone begins to gossip about her. White Jade Goblin was the only Edaya in the world that was hereditary. All Edaya were different as they reflected the individuality of a person's soul. But one family desired that their Edaya would pass down to future generations and become stronger as it went down the bloodline. They hoped that they could make their Edaya stronger and more useful by giving it to their predecessors. The Kim family descended from a king named Suro. They neglected their families as they strived only to better their Edaya and pass it on to the next generation. And to make sure that the children had the White Jade Goblin, they only allowed marriages within the family. But the White Jade Goblin could only be inherited by the females of the Kim family. But their strict rules about interfamily marriages led to the decline of their population. Now, there was just one family and their daughter was Kim Seon. When she manifested her Edaya, something special happened. The White Jade Goblin that appeared was holding a sword, and her physical and potential strength was far superior to boys of her age. Kim Seon was truly a peerless genius, someone who had shown great performance right from a young age. The teacher and the students are flabbergasted on listening that she was from the White Jade Goblin family. The teacher immediately appoints her the vice squad leader of Squad 3 despite Byun Jiyoung's resistance. Park Jin-sung compliments her that she was indeed special, but she makes fun of him, saying that he was special himself. It was rarer to be F rank in both Edaya and combat ability than having an A rank Edaya. She is having fun teasing him, but he can tell that there are no hard feelings. Byun Jiyoung is angry at her for suddenly coming and becoming the vice leader of his squad. But he does not realize that this was just the starting. The students soon start talking about only Kim Seon. They believe that she would be the ideal leader for Squad 3. And that was not too far in the future. Compared to her, Byun Jiyoung was just an average person, and he was very selfish at that. Not only was she excellent at fighting, but she was also charismatic. Jiyoung gets really jealous and angry after listening to all this. Seon invites Park Jin-sung to join her for lunch, but he tells her that he was too busy for that. He had to clean the entire class. She pulls him, and when he tries to resist, she asks him everything he did. On listening to his answer, she realizes that he was being exploited by the other students. He was doing chores for everyone even though that was wrong. She gets angry and starts dragging him with her. She goes to the people that were supposed to be doing the cleaning chores and tells them that they would have to do it themselves from now on. She scares them and says that if she finds that they were forcing the trainee to clean again, it would not be good for them. She even makes them apologize to Park Jin-sung. But she is not satisfied with teaching the students a lesson and takes him to the class teacher. He acts like he did not know what was going on and laughs it off. He tells that Sam would be in charge of cleaning duties from today and she could assign duties to other students. Park Jin-sung realizes that it was for his own good, but the other students were not going to take it kindly. Sam tells the other members of her squad to do their duties. And when they try to say that the F-rank trainee would do it, she scares them into obeying. But Byun Jiyoung comes to her and starts quarreling with her. But Kim Seon is not going to be intimidated by him and says that she will become the squad leader soon. Jiyoung asks her to come to the rooftop after school to discuss things about the squad. Park Jin-sung was listening to their conversation and he does not think that it was a good thing. She goes to the rooftop as arranged earlier and he follows her. His guess was right, Jiyoung is not alone. There are a lot of people with him and Seon does still not care. She asks him what did he want to discuss and he says that it was obvious. She laughs as the other students prepare to attack her and says that Jiyoung was really an embarrassment of a squad leader if he did not feel safe talking to her alone. They say that they are going to teach her a lesson and Seon acts like it was some boring joke. She tells him that he was neither stronger nor smarter than her. He did not deserve to be her superior. Ji-young gets angry and orders everyone to take out their edaya. Seon analyzes the situation and sees that there were no long-ranged edaya. Ji-young tries to rile her up and says that she might be looking down on all of them. His plan was not to beat her but to force her to use her edaya openly. That was not allowed in the school, and if someone with a higher rank edaya misbehaved, they would be punished. He thinks that the school administration would not notice if they used low-rank melee edaya against her, and since she was not carrying a weapon, she could not defeat them without releasing her edaya. He tells her that without using her edaya, even she won't be able to fight all of them. But she suddenly starts talking about An Sung-ho. She asks them did they not sense anything when they see him. She asks Ji-young what he knew about her overall combat ranking. The people with him step back when she asks this question, but Ji-young eggs them on. She mocks him and says that he would know better than that if he paid attention in class. She was in a rank, and statistically, one a rank could fight equally against 100 people below a rank. She releases one part of her edaya and one white horn sprouts from her forehead. She says that being able to fight many people at once was a basic requirement to become a rank in combat ability. And even though she was not as powerful as she was with a sword, did they really think they could beat her with numbers? The attackers are getting nervous, but with Ji-young pushing them on, one of them attacks her. She smiles and catches his weapon mid-air and tosses him back, throwing more people to the ground with him. Then she rushes at the group and quickly defeats them. One of the people starts complaining that she was a gifted genius within a rank edaya. How could the common people with inferior edaya and combat abilities compete against her? But she tells them that even though her edaya was a rank, her initial combat ability was merely D rank. Ji-young does not believe her and starts shouting that she was lying. He says that she was trying to fool them by telling them nonsense. San replies that what she said was unbelievable, but it was true. She was not good at fighting initially. She did not even want to learn sword fighting, but her edaya forced her to take it up. She says that people would say that she was lying, but she had worked too hard to raise her combat ability to a rank. And even without her weapon, she was far above the people who gave up too quickly and blamed it on others. Everyone else is defeated except Ji-young, and he seems too confident for the situation he is in. Seon notices it and thinks that he was hiding a weapon or a trick that made him confident even when facing her. But she does not care about it, as she thinks that she can easily defeat him. But as she attacks him, Ji-young's plan gets closer to success. He puts his face in the way of her punch. She had been careful to not hit anyone in the face, as it would make it easier for them to prove that she hit them. Ji-young would take her punch to the face, and even if he got hurt, it would be worth it. She would be suspended or even expelled from the school if he played his cards right. Ji-young smiles as her punch comes at his face while Seon is surprised. But a hand comes in between the fist and the face, and Ji-young is saved. Park Jin-sung had come just in time to foil his plans. He drops the broken plastic pieces from his hand after he is done saving the sergeant. But as Ji-young demands a reason for him being here, he steps on his foot and apologizes, saying it was an accident. But Seon refuses when Ji-young says that she had brought him along with her. Park Jin-sung fakes crying, saying that no one cared for him when he had saved both of them. But Seon is shocked at the feat he just pulled. He must have been hiding behind the gate. To open the gate and then rush at least 10 meters and then stop her full power punch from hitting Ji-young's face, it was impossible for someone with an F-rank combat ability. She is certain that Park Jin-sung had been lying about his combat ability to everyone. Park Jin-sung is back to acting like a fool and asks everyone to go back home peacefully. Ji-young says that it was not over yet. Even though his plans had been fouled, he was recording everything with a hidden camera. He would show the proof that Seong used her edaya and she would be punished. But she points to the broken pieces of plastic on the ground and says that this must be the camera he was talking about. Park Jin-sung says that he thought it was just a piece of decoration or someone must have forgotten something. He picked it up just in case, but it was broken while stopping Seon's punch. Ji-young is frustrated, but he cannot do anything. But she picks him up from his collar and asks him how could he stop her punch. Her interrogation is interrupted when the people start saying that perhaps rank warriors have excellent luck too. She gets angry at them and tells them if they think their edaya was not good enough, they could learn from the F-rank trainee who had stopped her punch. With that, she leaves the attackers while pulling Park Jin-sung away. The people who had gathered to gang up on Kim Seon are left dejected and defeated. Suddenly the scene changes and someone is shown holding a small dagger covered with blood. There is blood on his hands and on the walls of the room as well. The shadow reveals that a young boy is holding the dagger and walking towards a woman who screams for him to stop. She calls the boy a monster and he replies that she and uncle were also monsters then. The boy smirks as he finishes the woman, but then he wakes up suddenly. Park Jin-sung was having that terrible dream again. The truths behind his unusual edaya and the accident with his uncle and aunt are revealed. Maybe it is the reason he is so afraid of using his edaya. He did not kill them but harmed them so badly that they ended up in a mental hospital. What will this truth do when it gets out, but will it get out in the first place? Kim San is perhaps the only friend he has, and will he try to tell her the truth about his true ability? Let us find out how Park Jin-sung lives his life by his ideals in the next video.